This weekend is the biggest weekend in Tottenham's season, and we're not even playing a game. If West Ham fail to beat Newcastle this Sunday, 5:30 p.m., a game which we will be doing a watch-along for, or a hate-along, or a hope-along, or whatever you want to call it, it's the biggest game. If West Ham do not beat Newcastle and we get a point against Chelsea and then go on to beat Everton, we will stay up. We need the Geordies. We need the Tomb. We need Newcastle to do us a huge favour. I've seen a lot of Newcastle United creators, fans, whatever you want to call them online, saying we want to lose, we want to keep West Ham in the league, we want to relegate Tottenham. This feels like this game on Sunday is absolutely seismic for our season. If things go our way and Newcastle beat West Ham, it does take a little bit of the pressure off. If West Ham go to St James's Park, a ground in which they haven't even got the best of records. But at the moment, it feels like it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We aren't really going anywhere. We should have beaten Leeds United. In my personal opinion, it is a foul on James Maddison. And on another day, in another Premier League game, that should and would have been a penalty. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. And please let me know your thoughts. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely obscene. The support on the channel is crazy at times. Some videos hitting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 likes. So I really do appreciate the support. And we're just over 500 subscribers from 23K. This weekend, this Sunday, 2 days' time, it is absolutely everything. It really is. You look at where both teams are in the league right now. I'll bring up the league table so you guys can see if you haven't looked in a while like myself, because it is just depressing. There is 2 points that separate us and West Ham. Now, Newcastle United, highly unlikely that they are going to get a European place. At this point, they are, mathematically, they still can if results go their way. If Aston Villa were to win the Europa League, I think Bournemouth would get Champions League, which would mean 7th would get Europa League, which would mean 8th would get Conference League, maybe. I think that's how that works. Newcastle United is a huge game for both teams. You know, you look at the form table right now. If we go to the last 5 matches, Newcastle are down in 14th. West Ham are up in 10th. If we look at home records this season, Newcastle United are around mid-table. They're 12th. If we look at away records this season, West Ham United are in 16th. It's crazy that we have got the 5th best away record in the league, but the joint worst, only on goal difference, or the second worst, home record. So it's absolutely huge for us. Newcastle United have to do us a favour. Anthony Gordon has been heavily linked to the move to Bayern Munich. It's highly unlikely that he will start this game. But it feels right now, if we look at West Ham's games first, look at their recent results, they've only scored 1 goal in their last 4 games. Clean sheet, a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. 2 goals they've scored in the last 4 games. They beat Everton 2-1. But they haven't scored in their last 2. And this game here, don't know why there's a 5:30 kickoff on a Sunday. I think they want to make the FA Cup a big thing, and I'm all for it because I love the FA Cup. But this game, I will 1,000% be doing a watch-along for. This is huge. Absolutely fucking huge. It really, really is. You know, if Newcastle do us a favour, which would mean going into the final game of the season, if we go back to the Premier League table and we zoom out a little bit, that would mean that they would stay on 36 points, meaning we would need 1 more win. If we beat Chelsea and they lose to Newcastle, West Ham are relegated. I have a horrible, horrendous gut feeling that West Ham will beat Newcastle. I think that Newcastle will roll over like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue and just take it. And I think West Ham will win. Now, goal difference is massively on our side. It is 11 better. We play Chelsea next Tuesday, which we have a diabolical record at Stamford Bridge. And when you look at the fact that Chelsea have lost 3 of the last 4 Premier League matches, you look at we right now are in decent form. when you look at the form table, look at last 5 games, we are currently ranked 9th. We've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1, conceded 5, scored 6. We should have beaten Leeds and we should have beaten Brighton, but we're at the situation we're in right now. If we do not beat Chelsea, it is going to be a long, long day if West Ham beat Newcastle United. But equally, it could go the other way. I still think there's a couple more twists and turns in this relegation battle. It looks right now that it could go down to the wire. And I feel right now it's going to go down to the wire. Let me know your thoughts. When I look at our record at Stamford Bridge, I would take a draw right now. A draw and beat Everton and we stay up. If West Ham win both their games and we fail to win one and draw both, we are relegated. It feels right now that West Ham is pretty much all or nothing, this game they're playing at the weekend. When you look at the fact that as well, not only that they have to play Leeds United, who had really good chances against us, and Kingsley made 2 unbelievable saves, you just know for a fact that they will roll over for West Ham. You just know it. I can see it a mile away. West Ham haven't scored in their last 2 games. West Ham will somehow beat Newcastle. I just know it. So we have to do our job. We have to focus on ourselves, go out there, look at the task ahead of us and get it done. It is as simple as that. West Ham played their game before us, so we will know what we have to do when we go in against Chelsea. If we go out there and beat Chelsea, in my opinion, we go on to beat Everton and we stay up. If we do not beat Chelsea and the result goes against us, in my opinion, we're down. Because this football club has shown time and time again that we cannot deal with pressure. And whenever scrutiny is upon us, we crumble. Now, you look at our recent form, we haven't lost in our last 5 games. We've only lost 1 in our last 5 games, which was against Sunderland. But we have been arguably the better team in the bulk of these games. We were the better team against Brighton. We were the better team against Wolves. We were miles better than Aston Villa, and other than 2 chances that Leeds United had, we tried to control the game, but, Kingsley bows us out. That save come the end of the season from Longstaff could be the difference. That could be what keeps us up, And when you look at the predicted lineups this weekend, for us, this is what the predicted lineup from Footmob is. Pretty much, maybe Archie Gray. Other than that, that's pretty much where we're at. Cole Palmer has been terrible for months. You just know for a fact he's going to have a good game. The only 2 players that concern me, I don't think Cucurella will be playing left wing, by the way. I think he'll be playing left back. The only 2 players that concern me they've got is Palmer and João Pedro. Palmer has a good record against us. He scored a hat-trick at our ground a few years ago. They've already beaten us once this season. I just have a feeling that they will turn up, which means we equally have to turn up. Conor Gallagher back at the Bridge. The spotlight will be massively on him. A lot of Chelsea players get on with him. A lot of Chelsea fans still like him. But ultimately, Conor Gallagher is a professional player. Well, I think at least he's going to be professional in the way we play. I'm just concerned. I am massively concerned about this game. All the lights are going to be on us. All the pressure is going to be on us. The whole world is going to be watching us. And we have shown countless times when that happens, we don't get the result like we did on Monday. Everyone's watching Monday Night Football. Everyone's looking at the situation with regards to, are we going to stay up? And we lost the Leeds. We can talk about the penalty to the cows come home. But ultimately, they come away with 2 big chances and we made 2 big saves. They didn't score a goal in open play, but they come away with more XG, more shots on target. When you look at the match stats, okay, we had more shots. They had more shots on target. Their XG is naturally going to be higher because of the penalty. But if Maddison scores that penalty in the 90th minute or whatever, we right now wouldn't be in this situation and we would be 5 points clear. We knew what we had to do when Arsenal did us a favour and beat West Ham, and we didn't. If Newcastle do us a favour, we know what we have to do, which is go out and beat Chelsea. We know we have to beat Chelsea regardless. And if you look at the last 5 games, right, this Chelsea side are 19th. They have scored 2 goals and conceded 11 in their last 5 games. I believe we can go and win, but I also would take a draw if you offered it to me right now. I really would. Make sure you drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.